Andrea Constant, who testified that the 79-year-old gave her a drug that rendered her incapable of stopping his alleged assault. The juror described her as well coached. Well, this was caught on camera, an 81-year-old grandmother taking police on a slow speed chase in Texas. Take a look.
I can't hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. Stop the car. Don't drive off.
Okay, well, as you can see, she took off, but she didn't exactly put the pedal to the metal. She never really made it over 20 miles an hour. But minutes later, she did stop again, and officers poked holes in her tires. Police took her into custody and charged her with evading arrest. And this is what greeted a Massachusetts State Police trooper when he pulled a car over in the HOV lane. Not the brightest of ideas, as most of us here in the DMV know. Driving without a passenger in HOV lanes during certain times will get you a ticket. And the mannequin did not fool that trooper. The driver was eventually cited. Nice try, but we can all see through that.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes after a long day, though, it's pretty tempting.
It's tempting. It is. But then you get that ticket, and it's like, ugh.
Not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So today started off a little bit questionably.
Yes.
And now?
Now it's not too bad. We're actually seeing some sunshine, but rest assured, the clouds are going to return this afternoon, and also the chance for a few thunderstorms. So we're not out of the woods yet. Annapolis, Maryland, not looking too bad, though. 84 degrees there right now. As we take a look at our feels like temperatures, it is pretty hot, so make sure you're staying well hydrated this afternoon, maybe taking frequent breaks. Already feeling like the mid-90s for the D.C. area and also off to the south, Annapolis, Andrews, and Fredericksburg. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. More rain ahead. We have Tropical Depression Sydney, and she's going to be meeting up with a cold front, bringing in some steadier rainfall to parts of western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and then getting our chance for some heavier rainfall late tonight. So hour by hour today, starting to notice a little bit more cloud cover after lunch. A few rumbles of thunder not out of the question, so do keep an eye to the sky. And our temperatures today, upper 80s to low 90s. Peak wind gusts about 20 miles per hour, so it's a little bit breezy out there as well. Heading to Futurecast, you can see by the time you head home from work, maybe kicking off those Friday night plans, it's not too bad. Mostly cloudy skies, and then overnight after midnight. Notice the yellow shading starting to show up. That's the heavier rainfall that's going to be moving into the region overnight tonight into early Saturday morning. But if you have the national tickets for this weekend, doesn't look too bad. We're talking low humidity by Sunday, definitely feeling much better, and that comfortable weather sticks with us right into the early half of the week. Upper 70s on Tuesday with lots of sunshine. Adriana, back to you.
All right, looks good. Thanks, Molly. Well, happening tonight right here on ABC 7, 2020 digs into the investigation into the death of UVA student Otto Warmbier days after returning to the U.S. from North Korea. Bob Woodruff joins us now with a preview of this. Bob, how are you?
Good. Adriana, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us. So I want to ask you, are we going to get any sort of details or enlightenment or insight into what exactly happened to Otto while he was held captive over there in North Korea?
Well, a lot of information has been put together. You know, the doctors had a chance to look at his condition when he came back, sadly, when he passed away not long ago. But they can't tell exactly what happened inside North Korea. You know, they know that there was, what killed him was a little lack of oxygen in his brain, so there's some brain injury, that the brain had shrunk down because the cells were decaying. But they don't know exactly why it was that he was denied oxygen. There's so many ways this could happen, everything from being suffocated to have something over the top of his head, and also other types of injuries. But there was no shattered, bones. There were no wounds on his body physically. So some things would be eliminated, but the actual answer will not be answered. It will not be found out until somebody can get information from North Korea itself, those who witnessed it or those who participated in it.
Right, and Bob, it's so interesting because today North Korea came out and said that they are the biggest victim of this whole thing. It's all a smear campaign. They've denied torturing or being cruel to Otto. We do know that you talked to Kenneth Bay during this hour of 2020. He was detained before. Is he offering any sort of enlightenment as to what happens during that period of time?
You know, he did. He's one of those who was in there for about 2 years. He was the one of the American prisoners who's held the most. It's the most time spent in a prison. So he knows all about it. He was put in one of the camps, which was designed for the foreigners, but the only foreigner there. He told about his treatment. He went and he worked 8 hours a day in hard labor until ultimately he was allowed to leave. But he also wanted to, he says he understands a lot what Otto went through as well, because he experienced this. So you're going to hear some of the words from Kenneth Bay, who's probably the best witness to what's happening inside those camps.
And last question for you. You talked to some of Otto's friends during this 2020 special. What did they have to say?
You know, he was a remarkable man. He was kind of a leader in his high school. A lot of his high school friends told us he's always been brilliant, really high grades. He never bragged about them. He was humble all the time. He was also one that really loved to travel. He went on adventures. He went to